What's up, everybody? SC here, back with another week of the KCM. Guys, I am so excited to start this one off. I miss Ultimate Battle, guys. It's been a little while. I've been kind of watching it here and there, but without casting it, my schedule is relatively empty for casting. Been waiting for this KCM practically all week. Of course, I do have a second channel, guys. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. Doing some replay casts, but I do miss Ultimate Battle, man. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate I can't cast that anymore. But at least we still have this KCM. I'm also thinking about the Challenger series of KCM, casting that as well. Currently, that is not being cast by Caster Muse anymore. That's a KCM exclusive, so might be in the works here. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd be interested in watching that as well. Go ahead and look in the description. I will post my other channel as well. But to start this one off, guys, we've got Mini versus Queen and an excellent lineup as well. Again, Zerg looking so strong. We'll see if they're actually going to be able to take this KCM. They've got like 0 points right now, I think. 0? We've got Soul Key Queen and Soma versus Snow, Mini, and Best. Speed, Light, and Rush. Wow, that is a great lineup for Protoss as well. Terran, Speed has been really showing up recently too. Light is amazing. Rush is great. Although he hasn't been performing quite as well in KCM as he did in, for example, the wildcard qualifier. But I digress, guys. We got Queen here, throwing down his hatchery in the natural. Gonna go for a 12 hatch and a mini. What does he have out in the front? I love that we're getting this matchup right off the bat. This should be a great game on cross map here on Polypoid. Of course, a gateway in the front here for mini. What else? Haven't seen this guy go for a Forge expand for a very, very long time. He is completely committed to optimizing this style of play, that gateway expand style, making sure that it is as perfected as possible, as humanly possible. And we've got Queen looking for his opponent. Not going to find him just yet. Luckily, he is cross-map, so it's going to be kind of hard to put on the pressure as Mini. Those Zealots are going to take a long time to walk across the map. However, that also means that there's a lot of different pathways that this Zealot can take, and it will be a little bit easier for him to slide around any Zerglings that are out on the map and try to find his way into either this natural or the third base at a surprising time. It's a lot of space to cover here on Polypoid with your early Lings, so having a couple of Zealots slip by in a dark location on the map is always a big threat. It's a big worry here. So you can see already Queen spreading out his Overlords. He's covering a lot of the map with those Overlords. And the Lings should be popping out here relatively soon. So far, just staying in the wall in there, getting that probe scout on. He wants to see how many Lings are being produced before he actually sends those Zealots out. Be nice and careful here. And the third base is coming up at the 12 o'clock position for Queen. Cybernetics core already. Of course, there was a Forge thrown down first in front of the natural, so being a little bit conservative here. Mini, usually he likes to throw the Cybernetics core down in the front just to optimize his play a little bit more, just that tiny bit more. Make sure that he doesn't lose that Forge to any sort of Ling bust or anything like that. But it looks like no, or Hydra bust, excuse me, but it looks like no. Oh, wait a second. Can we go back to that natural? Was that another? I think there might be a mistake here. Hold on. Are my eyes deceiving me? Okay. It was really, really quick. Okay, there is a Forge there. I don't know why, but when I looked at that, at first I thought that was another Cybernetic score, and I got a little bit freaked out there. But okay, we got Citadel coming down. No Stargate here. This is a style that I see a lot on ladder, actually. Throwing down the immediate Citadel. Now he's going to go into 3 more gateways here quickly as possible. And he's just going to power up a ton of Zealots here on just 4 gates. Come out with a big pressure timing attack just a little bit before you usually see that timing attack coming through. And it's going to hit hard, and after that he's going to follow up with even more gates and trying to take a 3rd base with just the distraction of the Zealots out on the map, just hitting all these different bases at the same time. So this is going to be a powerful play. It's going to be hard to stop Queen. He doesn't have any information about this. He doesn't have an Overlord in the base. He manages to pick off a single Zealot, which is nice. Zealots are going to be a problem later, though. 1 gateway added on here in the net. Is this another gateway? Okay, he actually does get a Stargate after. Huh, okay, interesting. So playing it a little bit differently than what I've experienced on ladder. Not actually adding on 2 more gates. Instead, going to go ahead and get that Stargate. He still will have a good timing here where he can move out with Zealots and put on some pressure, but the Lynx are going to get in the main now. Not a great block here for Minion. He is going to see everything. Queen going to get all the information he could possibly want here in the main. He's going to see that Stargate. He's going to see the early Citadel there. He's even going to be able to harass this mineral line up in the main. A few Zealots are headed across the map. We'll see what damage they can do. We don't have speed yet, so a bit of an anti-timing here. Do we have +1? No +1. Ling getting stuck there. Very annoying. 3 Zealots. Finally, we get speed. So these do not have to commit to a fight here. They're just going to run away as soon as the Zerglings pop out here and start to chase these Zealots around the map. Actually, I think he's lost track of the Zealots right now, which are right now running into the main and natural. Bit of a ring around the rosy play there from Minion. It's starting to work out. He's going to block that ramp with 2 Zealots and go to work on the drones in the main. We'll see what kind of damage he can get. So far, only 1 drone has gone down. Looking for more damage here with the 2nd Zealot. Maybe send those over to the 3rd base would be a good idea. Going for the Spire. Can he pick the Spire? That would be huge. 200 HP left on that. He's actually going to turn and fight instead of committing there onto the Spire. Maybe a mistake. He's going to buy a little bit more time, though, with those Zealots. Allows him to push these drones away from the natural. And this timing is hitting very, very hard and very fast. Almost able to get that Spire. This is so close. 30, 20. Oh, he gets it. Nicely done there. Mini picks off the Spire. That is massive. No more mutas are going to be coming. No more Scourge either. And we'll see what his follow-up is here. With the Spire going down, you can definitely start to take advantage of that air dominance. Some Scourge are popping here, so luckily started a few of those before the Spire went down. And double Stargate follow-up. Wow, okay. I don't see a Hydralisk Den here. There's the Hydralisk Den starting just now, and Mini is going to take a ton of liberties here with his Corsairs. He's going to be able to run over these few mutas that are out. He's going to be able to just wreck Overlords on the other side of the map. He's got 5 Corsairs already. No +1, I don't think. But pretty soon it'll be 7 Corsairs. And 7 Corsairs just wreck Scourge so quickly. And he'll be able to just massacre these Overlords. Not going to be much of a recourse here for Queen. And I'm liking Mini's position right now with these 6 Corsairs. As long as he doesn't eat lots of big hits from these Scourge, he's going to be able to just crush through. Comes the first Overlord death here in the natural. 2 end up going down. A 3rd pops out of the egg and dies immediately. And we are... Oh, a DT follow-up as well. DT is just flying in here to the natural. Oh, man, that Overlord just popped out in time. But wasn't enough. Didn't stay alive long enough there to actually save... Or kill that DT, excuse me. And save the base for Queen. Now getting here into the main. He's going to start to kill off Overlords here as well. Fighting with the Hydras too. 2 shots those Hydras with the DTs. Trying to pick off as many drones as possible. While at the same time losing as little as possible on his side of the map to those mutas. Mutas are camping over top of the natural there. But Spore comes up here in the natural. Can that actually stay alive though? Nice moves with the drones, and another Overlord does pop out, but DTs are just going to town here in the natural. A great follow-up here to Mini's early timing attack, finishing off that Spire. You know that your opponent doesn't have those Scourge to deny the Corsairs. Just gonna run rampant here, destroy all of the Overlords, and GG! Queen gets taken down. Mini, a brilliant strategic victory there. Absolutely beautiful. How do you stop that? It's gonna be so difficult. Even if you find out about that timing, you've got all the Lings out there. If the Zealots manage to run by, only 4 manage to get in towards the main, but he blocks the ramp and makes it so incredibly difficult. I guess a drone drill on those 2 Zealots on the ramp would have been appropriate. Drone drill onto the ramp and then get the Lings up there and actually save that Spire. Otherwise, you're just going to be in trouble for the rest of the game. Now, Mini is going to go on, and Queen already eliminated from this KCM. That's crazy. We're going to have another Protoss victory again. Well, we got a TVP coming up next. Let's find out who that Terran player is. Let's get into that next game. Alrighty, coming up next, we've got Rush versus Mini. Mini down here in the bottom of Destination, and up here at the top, Rush. Red Terran player, a pylon coming out in the front of his base. He's going to be getting rushed today. The tables have turned. Wonder if this is going to be single gate or double gate. I think likely a double gate, but this man is very creative. We'll see what he decides to pull out here against Rush. Try to take a quick win. This is not his specialty, going up against Terran. Luckily, Terran hasn't been so strong recently, with Flash exiting the scene. And Terran's really not showing up much in the KCM, except for here this season they're doing a little bit better. Nice pylon block there, blocking off 2 mineral patches at the back there. That is a really nice pylon block. I think that Rush was actually more afraid of losing that gas there. He actually canceled the SCV that was building and built that gas right away to prevent the gas steal, but Mini instead, he goes for the pylon block as a follow-up instead, and is stopping a lot of this mining here. Ooh, another pylon block, gonna add to the pain that Rush is experiencing right now. He's still going to be harassing this SCV building the barracks. That means another SCV has to be pulled off. Look at how many SCVs are not mining right now, guys. 1 was building the barracks, 1 was defending the one building the barracks, 2 are attacking the pylon in the middle, 1 is attacking the pylon on the bottom. So many SCVs are off the line right now. There's the gateway, a single gateway push here. Just gonna come in with endless harassment. This is so incredibly annoying for the Terran player to deal with. He's going to pick at these SCVs at the back, I'm sure. Loses the probe. Unfortunate. But this Zealot is going to be joined by a partner in just a moment. And that's going to give Mini an opportunity here where he can actually surround the barracks and the CC here and try to actually hit from both sides. Make it really, really hard for Rush to micro against this. Now, one of the pylons has gone down. Actually, the pylon at the bottom has gone down as well. But both of the Marines are going to die. Wait a second. 2 Marines suddenly die, and now Rush doesn't have anything here. He's got no Marines. He's popping out a single Marine more. He's got more than 100 gas right now, but he has yet to throw down his factory here. He's still trying to stabilize. Gonna lose another SCV in a moment. There's that SCV going down. Another Zealot does fall, but this has done extensive damage to Rush so far. Just kind of falling apart there. As his Marines were being targeted, he just didn't move them at all and ends up losing a lot. More SCVs are being attacked. The factory has finally started. 3 Marines are out now. So a formidable force against these Zealots, but with 1 on one side, 1 on the other, you can no longer just easily micro against this. It's going to surround this, doing a lot of damage to these Marines, but all of the Marines survive with just a single shot left on them from a Zealot. If a Dragoon happens to pop out right now, it's going to be very, very hard to hold off against that. Dragoon should be able to one-shot each and every single one of those Marines that are left over. 8 HP on each of those. The factory is about to finish now, but range has already started. A second factory starts up for Rush, so we know the follow-up here. He's just going to two-fact his opponent. He's already so far behind. He's got to make something happen, so this is going to be the follow-up. It's going to be a scrappy game here from start to finish. No matter what happens with this 2-gate, the game will, or with this 2-fact, the game will likely end. And try to break up this ramp. SCV is being repaired. A lot of missed shots here from the Dragoon, unfortunately. They actually can't even see right now, so doing a good job of breaking line of sight. Rush staying at the top of that ramp with those SCVs repairing each other, and the Marines just sitting behind. It's very, very hard to get up there with just a single Dragoon. He's going to wait for more and maybe try to break once again. If he can get up here and start to kill Marines, that would be really, really strong. Let's solidify his position here a little bit better. Floating out with the factory. He's going to start producing vultures on this low ground and sending them across the map into the main of this Protoss. Try to throw him off balance. Try to kill some of these workers here. This probe out on the map. He doesn't actually see it about this factory yet. There's the first vulture being made. I'm sure that he's upgrading either mines or speed at this moment. Mines would also be great because you can lay mines behind this army, and as you start to push out, the army will have to fall back, and you'll be able to catch those units falling back across the map. He is sending that first vulture straight towards the enemy main, but Mini is being very careful here. He's already got a Dragoon on the ramp. That's huge. That means this vulture will not be able to get in here. Mines are being placed. Okay, there is still some value that can come from this vulture. Getting those mines down here in the natural of the Protoss. Ooh, nice hit there as well. Mine dealing a ton of damage to that Dragoon. Should be getting speed shortly as well. There's another Dragoon popping out, so Mini is going to be safe here, guys. He is going to be safe. He's not going to take too much damage from these Marines, but he is a little bit trapped right now in the front here. There's tanks pushing down. These Marines are just going to melt because so many of them were already damaged. But we do have the mines here in the back. They're going to be able to connect with a bunch of these Dragons. Probably. No, actually, none of the mines connect. So a little bit slow there to get the mines behind this army. Had those mines been on the ramp already, that was a nice mine connect there. But if those mines had already been on the bridge, you would have absolutely been able to kill every single Dragoon there. A little bit of a missed chance for Rush. He is going to start to push across the map. No more Marines here, but quite a few Vultures being rallied up. Dragoon's going to go around this army and try to get in the way of reinforcements. Those have very low HP, though. Nice connect with that Marine, or with that mine as well. And a run by here with the Vultures going to get right in the middle. Throws down 4 mines. Can he have to get a shot? Oh, big hit there. Huge hit with that mine. Another 2 hits, and all of the probes end up dying. Rush shoving through here into the main with these 3 tanks. He should be able to take this game. Those mine hits were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Cutting apart those probes there. Ooh, a pretty good mine drag into a couple of the tanks, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We're setting up here with the tanks in siege mode. Gonna take Dominion over this main base and killing off all the probes. That's going to be it. GG will have to be called. Does not matter that these Dragoons are in the way. They're only going to be blocking tanks from reinforcing, whereas Vultures can freely fly across the map. GG. Mini taps out, and Rush eliminates that first Protoss player. Okay, moving right along here, we've got Soulkey coming out next. He's going to be going up against the winner from the last round, Rush. This should be an exciting game. That last one was pretty darn crazy. I'm surprised that Rush managed to take that one away. Mini seemed to be in such a unlosable spot there. Being able to defend against that 2-fact seemed like an inevitability, but walked into a few too many mines, lost some Dragoons in awkward positions, and then the mine drags into the probes was just the icing on the cake there, allowing Rush to take that one. Yikes. Yikes, what a game. Anyway, we've got Sulky here in the top right. He's going to be starting off with a 12 hatch and a wall in here for Rush at the front. This should be a great matchup here. I really like Rush quite a bit. Just he's so entertaining to watch, but Sulky also brings out some really great games. He's able to pull things off with Hydra and Defiler that seem impossible in this matchup. We've seen that before in the previous week of KCM, where it was on this map, I believe, that he was able to pull out like a freak win where he was so far behind and managed to bring that one back. So he's extremely powerful with that style, and this map really favors that type of play as well. So we'll see what he can do with that, if he's going to go for this Hydra Defiler style again, or if he's got something else in mind. Right now he's sending out a drone. Maybe that was for the third base, but Rush has already got a SCV over in that location. He's going to be blocking that. Where's this going right now? That's weird. Okay. A drone going down to the bottom right. He's going to take this space with his scout drone. And he's sending out another drone over towards that third. He's obviously not going to be taking that base, but he is drawing Rush away from that location. He's drawing Rush away from the main, and this might buy him enough time. Yeah, he's pretending to take that base. That's hilarious. He really made it look like that drone was about to throw down a hatchery there, but it absolutely was not. Just the movement there was perfect. Now, getting a moving shot from Rush, and now Rush is feeling pretty darn good, but he's going to be denied from getting into the main base. So he doesn't know what's going on in there. And he has no idea that there's a base down in the bottom right. So I think that in the mind game aspect of things here, Sulky gonna come out ahead right now. He's got more information than Rush, and Rush is gonna send an SCV down towards the bottom right. No, he has been fooled, man. He's been completely fooled. I think he probably thinks that Sulky is just going to follow up with a 2-hatch. He is sending the SCV over here, and he will spot this base. Okay, so now he knows. Good scouting here. Good, just vigilant play here from Rush to go ahead and scout that base. You know, he definitely made it look, Sulky made it look like he was trying to take that base over in the top part of the map, but Rush, you know, not trusting him completely there, ends up sending that SCV down to the bottom right, and he spots the base coming up. So now he knows it is a 3-hatch Muta timing. Hydra will stand down here. Wait, do we have a... No Spire. It's going to be straight up Lurker attack from Sulky. What a wild game. A lot of mind games going on here so far. Really, really wild that we're going to have just straight up Hydra bust, Hydra Lurker bust. So many Lings being produced at the moment. We're going to see Hydras popping out here, likely from this bottom right base, nearly exclusively, as it's just much, much closer to his opponent. And he's going to try and get through here. He's going to try and get in and actually kill Rush right now. There is a couple of supply depots here in the front, which generally lends itself towards Lurker play, though we've seen this wall in a lot on this map. We really haven't seen much of the Lurker bust. The Lurker bust just hasn't been used very often in either ASL, the qualifiers, or the main part of ASL. It's not been in KCM or Ultimate Battle much recently. And Sulky's going to bring it out here, I think, to the surprise of pretty much everybody. including Rush here, who is now trying to push out a little bit. He's going to get surrounded here by Lings, and the Lings round is good. Nicely done. He needs to pull back now. Perfect pullback timing there. Getting as much as he possibly can, but a factory is coming down here. Do we have any bunkers being thrown down by Rush? That's going to indicate that he really knows about this lurker play. I think he scanned both the main and natural, but he didn't see anything. So he knows that the tech structure must be at the third base. He's waiting for that next scan. But if he throws down this scan, he could be in a bad position when... Yeah, he throws it down. He scans it. He sees the Hydra Den. He has to throw down bunkers now. He's got to throw down a bunch of bunkers. He's got one scan. One scan is available. There's the lurkers right there. They're going to push forward just a little bit closer. And Lings are going to dive here on the bunkers. Try to get on top of those. Needs to get a little bit closer here. There we go. Lurkers in range. They can kill these Marines. Nicely done. The scan comes down, but all of the Marines die. Sulky is going to get on top of these bunkers and start to rip them apart. We do have a few more Marines popping out, but I think it's a little bit too little too late. There's no scan here, and one turret is coming up, but once he runs forward and burrows... Okay, he's not going to jump forward and burrow on this bunker, but he is going to go for these supply depots. That's going to be very, very annoying. 3 more lurkers are coming up. He doesn't know if there's a scan right now, but I don't think there is one. Brief respite here for Rush as the attack will continue. 2 bunkers have been produced. The factory should be making some tanks, but here we go. Gonna jump straight on top of this. Gets on top of the bunker. He's gonna kill off all these SCVs that are mine. Kills the bunker as well. Second bunker is being repaired as much as possible. He's not lifting off the, oh, he needs to lift off. Scan. Oh, everything dies, and Sulky is going to take this game right on top of the barracks. Finally, the first tank pops out, but it is way too little too late. He is dead as fuck. There we go. Surround here on the siege tank. Bye-bye. And GG is called. Nicely done. Sulky takes the game for the Zerg. Unexpected play there. We haven't seen a lurker buzz for quite a long time, so Rush was not ready for that. Nice positioning on that Hydra Den as well. Hiding it there at the third base was critical. It forced Rush to wait a long time for that third scan to find out what was going on, and by the time he did, it was a little bit too late. So, nice job by Sulky. He's going to go up against a Protoss player next. That's either going to be Snow or Best. Look forward to that, guys. Let's jump into that next game. Moving right along here. 1 player from each of the 3 races has been eliminated. Rush, Mini, and Queen are out. Up next, we've got Best versus Sulky here on Goodnight. Looking forward to this match here. I haven't seen a lot of games on Goodnight yet, but I think it's one of the better maps that we have right now in KCM and in ASL. You go ahead and bring that up for you now. Do have Goodnight file here. And there it is. Just open it up here. We can take a look. We got the star in the middle. Of course, the very large main base down into the natural here. We've also got a couple of ramps coming off that natural. Is a very important location to hold. Right outside of the natural, above those 2 ramps, you've got a mineral-only base, and then a ring of bases around the map on high ground. Up a pair of ramps there. So up onto the highest of high grounds. Littered around the map. So we've got plenty of bases here. We've also got that high ground middle that could be important in a matchup such as this. We've got Protoss versus Zerg for you. And it appears that Sulky wants to grab that hatchery here, but he's not going to be allowed. Oh, he just barely gets it down. Okay, I was wrong. I thought he was going to be able to block that, but he manages to just barely get that hatch down under Best's nose, excuse me. And Best here, gonna throw down his Nexus as well. Looks like a Forge first with the cannon coming up. And he is going to be safe here. We've got some lings coming out now, so it was actually a pool before that hatch. I thought it was a hatch first, but excuse me, guys. Was looking at the map, so we've got a pool first into hatch. This probe is hanging out. What the hell is going on? Alright, guys, we are back. Something happened with the VOD there. Africa TV VOD broke for a second, but we are here on a good night. The probe slipping past into the main, and he's going to hide this probe. This is a very smart move by Best. He kept the probe just outside the base, waited until the perfect moment to slip by, get into the main there. I'm not sure if Sulky actually knows about this. It seems like he doesn't, though he's brought his lings back into the main. I think he is now searching for this probe, making sure that it's not in here, but okay, he is actually going to spot that. There we go. Very nice. All right. He does manage to pick that off. But Best is in the main right now. You can't throw down any tech structures right now. If you wanted to go for a Hydralisk Den or something like that, it's not really going to be a possibility if the probe is in your base. So he gets a full scout in there. He's going to send the probe out now. Could have actually kept it in the main a little bit longer. Instead wants to go and check out the third base. He is going to find it on the high ground here at the center left. Hydra Den being thrown down by Sulky. We're going to have a rush build here. It is on cross map, so this is a very long rush distance. But perhaps he feels that he can mind game Best a little bit here. Find a way to surprise him with this attack. A single zealot headed onto the map. There's going to have to be some lings popping out soon in order to both hold back that probe from scouting this build and also pick off this zealot, which is headed towards the third. Here's that probe heading towards the main. Nothing here. Okay, we've got some lings on the ramp. This should pick off this probe right as it's coming up the ramp. Oh, very nice pullback there by Best. Right on top of that. Keeps the probe alive once again and might be able to loop back around and get into the main base. Can he actually get by here? Sulky doing a good job of staying on top of that, keeping that away from his main, but this is starting to get suspicious here, I think. Best going to send that couple of zealots over to the third base, try to pick off a few lings, maybe get a drone or two. And he is taking this fight here, going for that drone. Can he pull away in time? Not going to go for the drone. Jumping behind the mineral patches here. Ooh, good surround by Sulky. Get some good damage on that first zealot before it gets into a good position. So we'll end up finishing off these zealots. And he doesn't see the Hydra being popped out there. That's huge. Okay, Corsair is already out on the map, so he is going to spot this relatively soon. I think that Best will not die to this attack. Though he hasn't spotted this yet, he's actually pulled back now. Going to kill this Overlord. Now he sees the Hydras and throws down a bunch of cannons here. Can he actually hold on? Only 2 Zealots are in the wall. And more Hydras are popping out, but now with the addition of the 4th hatchery, I think we're going to see a transition here from Sulky. Just going to force out the cannons here and kill off this wall. We'll be able to kill all 3 of these buildings, and Best will have to recreate that forge in his main base here in order to get his +1 upgrade. It's a potential there for Sulky to actually get ahead in upgrades for a little bit here. See if he takes that option. So far, just throwing down some more hatcheries here, getting prepared for the next stages of the game, which of course going to be that +1 zealot attack that will eventually come out here. Where is the Citadel? Looks like we haven't added it on just yet. Instead, focusing on upgrades. Ooh, a lot of Overlords here. Only 2 Hydras, 3 Hydras now to begin to defend this, but Overlords will start to fall. Okay, he does lose 1 Corsair. 1 Corsair for 1 Overlord, not very worth it at all. Diving forward here, wow, actually 2 of these cannons are already dead, and a 3rd goes down. desperation mode here for Best right now, who's barely holding on with a single cannon. He has double forge for double upgrades, but maybe getting that a little bit too early, not focusing on these cannons for the defense. He's going to lose that one. Not able to pick off the Overlord either, so a DT not going to be able to save his life. Coming forward once again, going to pick off those two Zealots, and the cannons are getting low. He's going to dive forward. Can he actually get both of them? One goes down, and he backs off. Going to kill another Corsair here. Great multitasking by Sulky, just flowing these Hydras across the map. Now with 5 Hatch, is really ramping up his production here. Going to kill off these Zealots that are fighting with the probes rather than with the cannon. And only one cannon remains. There's one building, but he doesn't have money for any more cannons. The Zealot speed, of course, is done, but there's just not enough Zealots to actually threaten this army of Hydras. And I think that Sulky's going to run away with this one. Best just not able to put it together. A little bit lackluster on the defense, and a great follow-up here from Sulky. Going to kill this Protoss player. GG. Wow, that was an unexpected end to this game. I thought that for sure Best was going to hold off the Hydra rush, and it seemed like he was going to. Right up until the micro was going down in the natural of Sulky, trying to pick off those Overlords. He didn't, I guess, pay attention to what was going on in his own natural, which was 2 cannons getting picked off before you knew it. Before the observer even recognized that it was happening, we were having a dive in on the natural, and Sulky with the Hydra push follow-up, he just keeps picking off cannons and eventually takes that game. Nicely done by him. Another kill here. Yeah, this is what we missed, I suppose, while we were watching the Corsairs here in the natural. He just goes for it. Look at the Zealots are on hold position. They finally start to move forward, but by the time they do, the cannons are already dead. 2 cannons already finished off, and these next 2 cannons are just not going to be enough. A third going to go down right away. Look at that. Beautiful moves by Sulky during all of the confusion in his own natural, able to get those pickoffs and snowball the game into a win. Nicely done. We're going to go into his ZVT next. It's either going to be speed or light. Let's go ahead and jump into that next game. Moving on to our next one, it will be light versus Sulky. So, interestingly enough, Terran going to send out the big guns here and keep speed in the background. That anchor player here for this squad. Very interesting. I mean, speed, he did have a great showing in the last KCM, but I don't know. I think that usually they tend to keep the guys in the back that are the best. Like light usually tends to be the anchor player for the Terran players, but you know, they sent out Queen early here. They sent out Mini early. They're gonna send out Light early. We'll see how well he can do against Sulky here. We are on Revolver. We played quite a few games on this map thus far. You can see all of the eggs there in the front. And it's a very strange map. But it sticks by a lot of the principles which make these good Broodwar maps so strong. We've got the low ground natural. We've got the high ground with a very small ramp there. There's an easily accessible third base. There's plenty of high and low ground around the middle of the map. It's a 4-player map. It's symmetrical. And there are some weird features, but that's what makes it fun. 6 eggs in the natural appears to be what the map maker thinks of as fun. I don't typically agree, but that's an interesting take on a map. Gonna start killing these eggs right away. Interestingly, for Light, I don't know why he would want to kill those, but he is gonna go ahead and start to shoot those eggs down. Maybe he'll just leave them on low HP and finish them off later. I'm not sure. But he's gonna start building this wall. Getting the wall here on the right-hand side. Of course, his opponent is to the north, but you can actually block this completely here to the right-hand side of your natural, and then you can have a few Marines and an SCV on that ramp with the single or with the double egg there, and you can really hold off a lot of lings in that position while keeping your natural safe. It's pretty much as good as a full wall-in, though there is just that small gap which has to be plugged, but it will be very, very hard to do something like a ling all-in against a player that has a setup like this in their natural, so unlikely we're going to see that. Instead, we're going to have Solki grabbing his Spire here, not going to do something like a Lurker Bust. I don't know how effective that would be on a map like this. Also, he doesn't have a third base just yet, but we'll see if he decides to throw that down soon. He is going to be putting on that heavy, heavy pressure here in the early game with the Mass Mutalisk play very, very quick. About as quick as is possible to produce these mutas, but he is going a lot of lings. We see a lot of lings coming across the map here, and not much in the natural to speak of. Hardly any drones here. He's going to see that, and he sees all of the... Oh, he sees all of these lings popping out as well. He knows, 100% he knows that Solki is planning to surround and kill this Marine Medic Force the moment that it leaves the base. So he's just going to stay here on high ground, guys, and this is going to be horrible for Solki. You can see how few drones he's actually managed to produce here. He's finally popping out that third Overlord, but he just doesn't have anything, guys. He is so low on economy. Sorry, fourth Overlord. He's just so incredibly low on economy right now. And all Light has to do is just sit here. Doesn't have to do anything. The Muta Force is going to be extremely small. Smaller than it would be with any 2-hatch play. He can just add on a bunch of turrets here. Feel completely safe. And it doesn't matter if he builds, like, literally, if he builds 8 turrets here, I think that's fine. He's going to be completely okay. He's actually pulled back his Marine and Medic into the main, which worries me a little bit. There is a bunker here, but maybe Solki can bust that bunker and then get the lings up here on high ground. If they get up here and take a reasonable trade against these Marines, then there's some possibility that Solki could snowball this, but it's still very, very hard. Light should be able to get his Marines in a defensible position. This is kind of the moment here. This is the timing where Solki could actually do something, but he's still holding back. He still hasn't pulled that trigger yet. Factory is on the way, and yeah, Light, generally you want to move out with this build. You want to get out on the map with those early medics and the Marines with stim, but it's just not necessary in this situation where your opponent has invested so much into lings. The real goal is just to keep your Marines alive right now and build up into that stronger economy. Get your barracks up, get all your turrets up, and eventually tech into something like a Science Vessel or some Valkyries. Valkyries would be 100% fine here. You know that your opponent doesn't really have a transition. They're trying to kill you with 2-hatch Muta. The economy is just not there to do anything else, so getting a Valkyrie here would be really, really smart. I would like to see that if a Light does it. But he doesn't have to. He absolutely does not have to. Just sit here and build Science Vessels is completely fine. Got more Mutalisks being added on. We still got hardly any drones. You can see the scan here. Light's got to be laughing right now. Like, there's no follow-up for Solki other than some sort of attack. So Light just has to sit here and wait for it. And eventually he will get that starport down. He should be able to pop out some Valkyries here pretty soon. We've got +1, a good group of Mutas, but we have, yes, Armory. So it will be the Valkyrie. Valkyrie going to pop out, maybe even a tank too, just in case. If he does manage to pop out some lurkers, then at least you have a tank there to help push those away. But we're not really going to see a science vessel here. It's not necessary when your opponent is this all in, when they're just so strapped on economy. You can absolutely wreck those mutas and then walk across the map and destroy him. Light's going to win this game, guys. I'm calling it right now. He is going to walk across this map and smash him. A hive is coming up soon. Light is moving out a little bit early here. He's got +1. He has no Valkyrie, but if he gets completely surrounded and all his Marines die to these Lings, that could be potentially bad, because with that Defiler's Nest coming up soon. Defiler's Nest? Is it a nest? I forget. The Defiler building, when that comes up and he gets consumed, you really need to have some Marines out on the map. And if these Marines die, then there's just not going to be many Marines left over to start to, get out on the map and actually pressure. Here's the first Valkyrie. And now is a good timing for Light to start moving across the map, because one Valkyrie not going to just annihilate these Muta, but they can really put a lot of damage on them. There's a shot gonna land on all of these mutas. They're getting super low here. One more shot is gonna kill a lot of these mutas, and some Marines coming up to assist here. All of the Lings will die, and that's a tap out moment if I've ever seen one. GG. Sulky taps out. Nice read there by Light. Sulky just going a little bit too all in there with the Ling attack and gets scouted with that SCV. It happens to everyone. Every once in a while, Light just able to get that SCV into a position where Sulky just didn't know where it was, and it eventually runs into the natural, spots everything. The jig is up, and Sulky not able to make a comeback from there. GG. We're going to have Light going up against Snow next. Looking forward to that game. Guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, here we are. The next map in our pool. I believe this is Largo. Oh, no, it's not. Or is it? Is it Largo? Let me take a look. I believe... yeah, this is Largo. Lemon is that weird one. Lemon is the really strange map. So at least we're not going to get these two guys on Lemon. We're just going to be on Largo here. I'm very interested to see how Light will overcome the problem here on Largo, which is getting this third base down. With all those rocks in the middle, you can see the rocks between the third and the natural. You're actually not able to build anything on those. So you can't throw down turrets en masse. You can't throw down a bunch of blocking buildings like supply depots and stuff. So it makes it very tough, very, very tough to actually get that third base, especially against someone with the control of Snow, with the Reaver harassment of Snow. But if anyone can do it, it's Light, man. This guy is so solid. Has been for years. He's been a pillar of Terran for a long time. And we'll see how he manages to get that third base. Of course, we're on vertical spawns here. Light's going in the wrong direction with his scout, and Snow is scouting cross map. So wants to find out if his opponent is straight on the other side of the map. He's going to find out that no, he is not. We'll see. He's going to scout south now. Latest possible scout here for Snow. So he's not going to know what's going on for quite a long time. And Light is going to get in here with the scout, and he will be throwing down his command center right away here on low ground. He knows that the probe hasn't found him yet, so feeling pretty safe here to just throw that down right away. Cancels his Marine, and he's not building any SCVs, so I'm wondering what is going on here in the mind of Light right now. What is he planning to throw down? I see something, a building just below this. What is that? Supply depot. Interesting, interesting. We'll see what Light decides to do from here. He hasn't thrown down a bunker even yet. Gets here into the natural. He's got a few Marines out in the front, but he's able to skip quite a few steps here in the build just by having these Marines out in the front, and the probe not finding his base for about the longest possible time. That was literally the latest scout that you could ever get for a Protoss player. Send your probe cross map, then to the wrong location, then all the way cross map again to the right location. That is really, really rough. And all he manages to see is that there's some stuff in the front, and I think he might have seen the command center as well, but I'm not sure. He definitely sees that there's a vulture out on the map, but not a lot of information being gleaned here for our Protoss player. A single factory out right now for Light. He hasn't ended on that second one. We'll see if he adds that. Looks like he does. No starport follow-up for Light, though this is a good positioning to do that starport play. You can send it directly south. Very, very quick rush distance with that dropship. Get right into the natural and fly straight into the main. It's not going to go for that robotics facility here for Snow. And run by here. Check in to see if there's a third. No third coming up. Just a 2-base directly into Robo here for Snow. Wants to get those Reavers out as quickly as possible. Light's going to take note of that. No third base here. Still doesn't have a scanner or anything. I don't think he has an NG bay either. But he's decided his opponent not going to be going for any sort of DTs. And he's laying down those mines now, getting good positioning out on the map. And he is correct. No DTs here for Snow this game. An observatory going to come up, and that robotic support bay to follow here soon. Third base has now been spotted. Sees that. Single tank out on the middle of the map. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe a misrally? I'm not sure, but it's going to head on back home. Don't think he was planning on attacking there, especially without bringing the Marines. So why would you attack with one tank? Anyway, he sends that back home. Gets it into position. Snow being completely safe here, just sitting back, building some observers and dragoons. That is about it. No robotic support base, so no Reaver tech to come out of Snow just yet. Another factory is finished. Armory spinning away. Going to be getting that +1 here, ASAP. And Snow going to grab his third base, going to get those probes to mining. Checking everything out here, and this is the moment in the game where things are going to start to get kind of hard. Snow is completely secure on 3 bases. He's going to start getting his Reavers out here. Light is pretty secure as well on his bases. Beautiful block there. Just barely able to keep the vultures out of the main with that rallying Dragoon. That was very lucky. And he put that back. Yeah, we've got a Citadel here. Likely transition. Going to be a tech straight into Arbiters afterwards. Or we might alternatively see a second Robo being thrown down. Can be very good to break the third base of the Terran player if you do have that second Robo out. But we'll see which direction Snow decides to take this. A few more. Vulture's going to slip by here, maybe get a couple of probes. Try to get into the main. Nope. One of them does get picked off. Another as well. One more volley. One of the Dragoons did not fire. It takes 6 shots to kill a Vulture, so that Vulture slips away there with just a sliver of health. Hidden here in the corner, all of the tech. With the Stargate and the Templar Archives coming down, we know for certain now that the Protoss player will be going into Arbiter here. No doubt about it. A starport coming up. That's just for upgrades. I'll be surprised if he builds much of that besides maybe potentially one dropship. Going to be getting those upgrades going, but I haven't seen a command center getting thrown down yet. Maybe a Light feeling the difficulty here of getting the third base on this map. Usually, oh my gosh, that probe actually killed a Vulture. Are you kidding me? That's hilarious. You literally never see that happen when it's just a single vulture out on the map and it gets killed by probe. Single probe. That's pretty crazy. Science facility coming down. Getting prepared to start that +2 as soon as +1 is done. A lot of gateways here. Snow getting very serious about building up this army as he takes his 4th base. And can he actually get in here and see what Light is doing? Because Light is not planning to take a 3rd. He is just going to power up here very hard and hit a 2-1 timing. I don't know if this is going to work against what Snow is doing. He's just built so many gateways here. He's going to have such an enormous supply. And he should have an Arbiter popping out soon, although it will not have any spells for that fight. It might be... it's still going to help out quite a bit, even without the spells. By cloaking everything and by just kind of delaying a bit there, you're going to have to keep scanning. And eventually the spells will come out to possibly save the day here for Snow. If the Terran does indeed come all the way across the map. Now we do have Light beginning to move out. Ooh, this Reaver is super low. We'll see if he decides to build another Reaver. Really, Snow, one of the only Protoss players who likes to continuously build Reavers throughout the early, mid, and even late game sometimes. He keeps building those, so we'll see if he decides to do that here. Nice blocking there by Snow, keeping the vultures away and actually targeting the same vulture with every volley, making sure that one of those does indeed fall. Trying to get in here, but there is a turret ring. Keeping everything safe. More factors being added on. We're going up to... What is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fact? Holy shit. 7 fact timing from Light. He's going to hit with +2, +1. It's going to be... With the Fury coming across the map here in just a moment. The Terran Fury is about to be unleashed. And Snow is still trying to take bases. I don't know about this, man. I think you could use some more gateways and a lot more units. Just forget about taking more bases right now. Your opponent is on 2 base. And you're sitting here on 4, still trying to build more bases? I don't think so. Kind of risking it all here, Snow. Rather than just trying to secure himself. Here with 4 bases, he should be able to pump out enough and get enough gateways to overwhelm this Terran army, but trying to take this base could end up being his downfall, man. If he ends up getting overwhelmed in the front and he just doesn't have enough money to remax, the reason could be this extra base, this 5th base down here in the bottom left. He's trying to take this one as well. This man is out of control right now. On 5 bases, let's see if Light can actually break him. He's going to dive straight in here the moment he starts to move out. 95 energy on this Arbiter. Can he actually get a stasis here? Maybe on these back tanks. That's so many tanks. There we go. Gets the stasis off. And that will slow down the movement of Light, although it's not very effective at actually slowing down this, or it's not very effective at actually killing these units or taking a fight here. That was a very late stasis. At least it's going to prevent Light from moving out for a little bit. You can see the supplies are very close right now. We've got 150 to 158 supply. Some of the our vultures do get out and kill themselves with their own mines. That's fine. A lot of zealots are coming up here, and Light wants to again be able to move once the stasis wears off. But will Snow have the army mass to take a fight like that last one again? I don't think he can dive in just like that again. At least not just yet. But Storm's going to come down. There's Storm's there on quite a few vultures. He's going to pick off those vultures and possibly this tank as well. But he needs to back off. Without any zealots here, the Dragoons will just get absolutely splattered. 12 kill Reaver. Going to fire his last shot. Gets 2 more kills with it. But does eventually fall. And there's not much left here for Snow, but he's still got a lot. Still 162 supply, and his economy is insane. A third base coming up for Light, but what we see now is Snow just out of control. Absolutely out of control with that fifth base up and mining and a sixth base in production here. This is insane, guys. What am I even watching right now? We've got Snow just dominating. One of the strongest Terran players in the world right now. Maybe the strongest Terran player in the world. Just being run over by Snow. Gonna dive on top of the tanks here. Of course, these tanks gonna take a pretty good trade with that 2-1 and a bunch of mines in the front. Ooh, good mines there. And I think this will be the prompt here for Light to push. He's got a pretty decent army. Only at 138 supply, but his opponent 159. Maybe he can take a fight and just shove across the map, try to get into the natural while taking his third base. Taking a fight here on the ramp. Maybe he can get on with some vultures here. It's really, or with some zealots here, really close. He loses a few tanks. And all of the vultures have been picked off. Now there's no Goliaths here either. This very weakened shuttle can actually take dominance over this Terran position. Flying high over that area, not able to be shot down at the moment. And with all of these tanks unsieged, maybe Snow can just dive in here. He's going for it. All the tanks were unsieged. Now going to dive in with these Zealots, dropping them on top. I think this is the end, guys. Zealots right on top of these tanks, pushing in, killing off a lot of the bulk of this army. So much of the expensive units, those tanks going down. And we've only got 4 remaining here with another 2 rallying up. Meanwhile, Snow has gateways down in the bottom right-hand corner. He's transferring probes to that location. And Light is just barely getting his third base up. He's floating another command center, over towards a fourth base, a potential fourth base. But does he have the muscle to actually hold that? I doubt it. I seriously doubt that he will be able to hold a fourth base against Snow here, who's maxing out rapidly from 2 different locations. He's defending his bases down here in the bottom left. A bunch of cannons being thrown down just to block, not allow his opponent's vultures to get in there and actually deal any probe damage. That fourth floating out slowly here. He's going to try and take the one in the center left. A little bit easier to defend. You can defend your third base and your fourth base kind of at the same time if you just get up onto this high ground here. Get some mines up there, get some tanks in the way of that, then maybe you can hold that base. But it's still going to be a rough uphill battle for Light, considering the way this opening went in the early stages of the game. Got Snow pushing up here. Gonna try and take a fight. EMP comes down, but it's a little bit too late. D-Web on that front tank. D-Matrix, excuse me. Gonna keep that tank alive in the front for quite a long time. Folks, this is down one of the science vessels, but a lot of Dragoons ended up getting splattered there. Only a few tanks went down, and Light will manage to secure this base. Nice job by him, keeping that alive, keeping himself in this game. But it's still a very tough one for him to take a win here. Another base coming down, 7th base on the way for Snow, and it's about time to start adding on additional Stargates here, getting into more than just 1 Arbiter production at a time. He needs to get like 2, maybe 3 Arbiters popping out at the same time. Just as the numbers of Arbiters increase, their value just goes up by so much. Unsiege there in order to deal with those Zealots, but a quick siege up once again once he sees the Dragoons coming forward. And the tank reinforcements are going to come up here and I think clear out these Dragoons. Keep his base on the left side alive. Snow trying to be so annoying, just running in here with his Dragoons. They're basically sacrificial units at this point. The economy here is so great for Snow. He doesn't need to worry about losing Dragoons right now. He just has an enormous number of gateways and so much production, so much money income coming in. He's already remaxed once again. 190 supply to 125. A very, very high hurdle to jump right now for our Terran player. He's going to have to defend here at the 4th and over at the natural as Snow rotates his force up here to the right-hand side and begins to push in. Nice EMP there. Grabs an Arbiter and a couple of these Templar as well. So about the best EMP that you could possibly expect in this situation. Zealot's going to run forward, though, and jump on top of these tanks. A lot of them are low HP, so going to eliminate quite a few of these tanks. More Vultures popping out. They're going to try to hold on against this force. Another EMP comes down, hits that Arbiter missed, but hits the Archon and all of the Dragoons, so lowering their HP, making them a little bit easier to pick off here if the time does come for Snow to try to push in. 240 energy on this Arbiter, so it does have the Arbiter upgrade. I think more Stargates have definitely been added on now, though we haven't gotten a shot. There's the recall here into the 4th base. Going to go ahead and get a stasis down as well. Bunch of these tanks not able to actually fire, and a lot of the SCVs have gone down. He's going to bring a science vessel up and some of these tanks as well, but we are getting pretty low on SCVs right now and dropping below 100 supply for a moment there. Not looking good for Terran as Snow pushes up along the right-hand side of the map with this distraction at the 4th base. Can he actually break into the Terran natural or the Terran 3rd during all of this craziness? I think he absolutely can. Here he comes towards the 3rd base. Light scrambling right now to bring reinforcements. Try to take stuff out of that 4th base and actually clear this attack at the 3rd. So many Zealots and Dragoons, though, just all over this command center, and these SCVs getting wrecked. Bunch of Dragoons here on the right-hand side. They're not actually moving very well right now, but 4 Arbiters coming up. 4 stasis going to be thrown down, and all of the tanks are, like, literally all the tanks are in a stasis right now. This is crazy. Zealot's going to be rallied up here and going to get a nice storm there on some of these tanks as well. The tanks over here on the left side going to get taken out. The 4th base will be taken down, and this is it. GG. Light taps out, and Snow takes that victory convincingly here on Largo. Coming up next, guys, we've got Soma versus Snow. Soma down here in the bottom left, Snow in the top center. We are on Ascension. And once again, here in KCM, we've got Terran seeded into the finals. A battle here between Protoss and Zerg to see who gets that final shot. Who is going to get 0 points this week? The loser here, not going to be earning anything for their team. The winner will have the chance to get another win here. If Zerg goes down right now, I don't really know what to say, man. It's totally possible. Snow is an absolute beast. Really impressed with this guy's play in the KCM, and I'm looking forward to seeing him go deep in the ASL this season. Just a massacre there in that last game, and really showcasing how hard it is for the Terrans to play on that previous map. Yikes. Maybe, I mean, I don't know if Light should have just gone ahead and taken that 3rd base. Anyway, I'm getting caught up in that last game, thinking about it too much. Happens to me a lot on stream as well. Trying not to think about those games too much and just move on to the next one. But it can be very difficult. Block here on the 3rd base. Oh, drone's getting really low there. Run all the way back. Looking for that 3rd. Can he actually get it down? The Zealot is closing now. It's actually going to kill the drone. No way. Oh, and another block there. 5 HP on that drone. The Zealot getting here into the natural. This is ridiculous damage right now. Another kill with this Zealot. Are you kidding me? Snow is doing so much with these first couple of units. He will lose this Zealot eventually, but kills 2 more Lings as well. Absolute madman. And this is a great opener thus far by Snow, who's still prevented that third base from going down. It's finally going to be dropped here, I think, by Soma. Actually, no drone being sent out there. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. He's got 2 Zealots in the natural wall. A lot of Lings are being produced by Soma. He's going to go across the map and try that counterattack, but I think that it's not going to work out here. Cannon going to be thrown down immediately. A 3rd Zealot is on the way. As soon as that 3rd Zealot pops out, I think this is just completely held. So, yeah, there's that 3rd Zealot. How are you ever going to make it through that wall with just these few Lings? It's never going to happen. He loses a couple more Lings out in the front, and Snow is putting on a show for us today, guys. Dominating some of the strongest players that we know of in the scene. Both Soma and Light looking a little bit helpless against this Protoss behemoth. He's got the probe still here, checking everything out. He's making sure there's no Hydralisk follow-up, and he's kept this alive long enough now where the Hydralisk follow-up is just not an option anymore. We've got to go to a lair. And the Zealots are coming out across the map now. Zealots are going to make it here almost into the natural before the Lings finally pick off this probe, and I don't think that Soma really knows about this. He does have enough Lings, I feel, to clean this up. But it's all going to come down to the micro, of course. No, he's not quite confident to take on these Zealots here. This is a pretty good angle for Snow, but with the drones getting on top of this, he's going to surround 1 Zealot. Nicely done, picks that off without too many losses there, and will force Snow back. The 4th Zealot does arrive, and will back up these first few Zealots, but now it's time to get out of here. This is a little bit too many Lings. He's forced out all of these Lings, of course. Really limited the drone count. But he does need to get these home now and keep them alive. A Citadel coming up, or Stargate on the way as well. 4 Zealots retreating across the map. Can he actually catch these? Soma looks primed to actually hunt these down, and Snow kind of sensing that. He's going to go behind the mineral patches over here. Going to keep these Zealots alive at least until Mutalisks pop out, and at that time, I think these Zealots will no longer be useful here. They're going to end up getting cleaned up nearly 100%, so that's a little bit tough. But already Snow in a great spot. 34 supplied to 61. He's going to pick off this Overlord now. That Spire, maybe just a little bit late. We'll see if he can get another Overlord here. It looks like the Spire does finish, so now you're not going to be able to get a second Overlord. He does get to scout the main base there. Soma completely supply blocked. Not actually able to produce anything, so if you're totally supply blocked here, well, now it's not supply blocked, but sometimes that does happen where you do get supply blocked, and then you can't produce those Scourge, and then you lose another Overlord. You continue to be supply blocked. It can really snowball out of control. He loses another Overlord there, but keeps his supply up. More Overlords popping out here, and he should have Scourge popping momentarily. The natural gas has been taken as well, so possibility of a Mutalisk clump coming out here. He does have a couple Scourge. Creep Colony on the way too. And with only 5 patches, it's likely going to be a Mutalisk burst out here. +1 is done, so these Zealot's going to be trading very nicely against those Lings. Has to fall back here. He does spot the main base, but not able to pick off any Corsairs. 2 Sunkens coming up, but I'm afraid this might just not be enough. Evolution Chamber here at the front, going to be focused down by Snow. He does cancel, but a great surround there on the Sunken Colony. Drill of the drones on top of these Zealots, bouncing a lot of them around, but not able to fully pick these off. And the second Sunken does finish, but Zealots should be able to run into the main and deal some damage here in the main. Nice blocking there by Soma. Really, really nice to keep those Zealots back a little bit. But these Zealots can still do a lot of damage here as the Mutalists try to finish them off. There we go, finally picking that off, but another drone falls, and Soma's looking worse and worse right now. Every one of these attacks just pecking away at the Zerg economy, slowly breaking it down, and with these 6 Corsairs with +1, it's going to be tough for Soma to fight here. A lot of Zealots are being pumped as well. I think this might be a killing blow if it's not defended absolutely perfectly by Snow this upcoming attack. He loses a bunch of the Scourge, so not going to be able to connect on a whole bunch of these Corsairs and actually take them out. Instead, he's going to have to fall back. Yeah, you're going to lose those Scourge. He has to produce more of the Scourge. Try to get a good angle here where he can actually hit these Corsairs, but the Archon really preventing that, making it tough. Few Mutas gonna fly over here. I don't think they'll be able to actually kill this Nexus. Double cancel there on the cannons, and the Zealots are gonna run forward with the Corsairs heading back home. This could be a mistake here, splitting up the forces. Unless he just annihilates these Scourge and Muta with the Corsairs. Might end up regretting this play. Now coming up to the Mutas, gonna push them away. Focus on the Corsair, or on the Scourge here. Quite a few of the Corsairs do go down. Another wave of Scourge. Gonna dive on these. A lot of the Corsairs go down. That was a great trade for Soma. Baiting these Corsairs back to the to the third base. And picking a bunch of them off. I think we went from about 7 Corsairs down to 3. So really reducing that count. It's gonna make further Mutalists much more powerful. It's also going to allow Soma to just sit back and be a little bit more secure here. Doesn't have to protect these overlords as much. We don't have to worry about an attack really soon. With this number of sunken colonies, he should be safe. As long as he pulls drones properly here to defend, and all these Mutas popping out, fresh Mutas out on the map, so he can absolutely push all of this back, and there's no way that Snow can come out right now. He is far off from that critical mass of Corsairs to actually pick off Scourge as they fly in. Oh, excuse me. Something caught in my throat there, talking a little bit too fast. We've got some Dragoons being added on, that final piece of the puzzle for the Protoss player, excuse me. And look at this drone saturation. Despite all of the earlier attacks and losses there of Soma in his economy, he's finally actually managed to saturate these bases. 3-base saturation looking good. He's keeping his opponent back with just a few Mutalists and Scourge. And continuing to drone up here. He's also double expanding, taking a 4th and 5th base at the same time. Trying to get both of those to come up will be difficult, but with his economy rolling here, and not many Templars in this army, maybe he can put something together and keep one of these bases alive. That is the goal right now, I'm sure. Either hold this base in the bottom right or hold that 4th base in the bottom center. The Corsair number has once again grown to a pretty large number. It's going to be tough to engage with that army with these Mutalists. Going to be defending those Templar very closely with the Corsairs. Let's see. The army is flying in here. He's going after the Templar, I think. Didn't see any Templar there in that group. Maybe 1 or 2 picked off. Kind of missed that engagement there. There's another Templar coming up. The 4th base. Almost ready to be thrown down here, but a nice pick off on the probe. Going to slow that down just slightly. Lurkers are out here in key locations, but not a lot of them just yet. More bases coming up for Soma. Hiding bases around the map. He's trying to get lucky here. Find a spot where Snow is not paying attention and maybe just sneak a base in that spot. Fourth base is going to come up here. I don't think that Soma has the muscle just yet to actually contest one of these bases from Snow, as we've got 111 supply to 175. A giant advantage for the Protoss player in terms of that supply. In a lot of other ways too. Just a small advantage that's become larger and larger over time. And although this Zerg player, he does have, absolutely he has a chance that he could win this, he's still going to be fighting an uphill battle. He's going to need his Protoss opponent to make some mistakes, and that is not something that Snow is wont to do, so he's going to find and crush that 5th base, and with his own 4th base coming up, I think it's unlikely that Soma will be able to secure a 5th anytime soon. He's going to have to take a big fight before he's able to do that. He'll have to either bait Snow into taking that fight with him or move out, take a base, and try to defend that and take a big fight. There's really no other way to do it here at this point. He will have to confront this army in order to get that next base up. A robotic support bait on the way, likely going into Reavers here afterwards, and this can be so frustrating as a Zerg player after spending all this time getting into lurkers, setting up all this lurker defense, and to have your opponent just go right into Reavers makes these lurkers so much less useful. Even Defiler's not really going to help against the Reaver play. Coming up here, just throwing down some storms, killing off a few lurkers here and there. Of course, Lings are present, so going to make things a little bit harder for his Protoss opponent to try to break up this ramp. And hopefully we see Snow not going to feed too much more into this. He's doing a little bit of damage here and there, but it's a good idea not to waste too much army here, not to lose too many Templar. Can absolutely spend some of those storms, but make sure the Templar get back in time and stay alive. Nice storm there on the Hydras. And Soma really fighting for his life right now, as Snow is just completely maxed out. He's a 191 supply to the 130 of his opponent. That's kind of crazy. That's a pretty big discrepancy here, and generally when we see the Protoss kind of fighting like this up a hill against a lurker force that's already dug in, that's generally not the greatest way to take a decent fight, a fight that's going to leave you in a leading position. But Snow's making it work. He's got a serious upgrade advantage here at this point. We're at 2-1 for the Zerg player. What have we got here on these Dragoons? I believe we've got +3. We +3, +2, and +2, +2, and +1 on the shield upgrade as well, which is going to come into play when we get into those higher levels of Archons. When we get into like mass Archon play with Mass Zealot plus Plague, getting those shield upgrades can be pretty big. There's the Defilers now. Start throwing down Dark Swarms here, keeping some of these alive. Of course, Storm still deals damage. Ooh, nice Storm there on the high ground, able to kill quite a few of those Lings as they were pushing forward. More consumes going down. No Plague just yet, and another base coming up for Snow. Is just currently just containing his opponent, making sure that he's not able to push out, making sure that he can... Oh, did I hear a Plague there? I think I heard a Plague on some of those Zealots. More Dark Swarms going to come down. The orange cloud pushing everything back. These Dragoons not really able to do much, but they don't really need to do anything at the moment. Just hold this position, keep Soma from taking any additional bases, and that's just going to be the name of the game here from now on for Snow, it looks like. Push his opponent back, stop him from taking any more bases and just grab more bases around the map. He's pushing over here towards this base. Someone just barely able to hold on right now. He's throwing down a bunch of Dark Swarms. He's got a Defiler here, but not going to throw that down. He's going to push out through the left side and maybe try to bait his opponent into fighting, to swinging his army back in the other direction, but Snow not taking the bait. He's just going to go straight for this 4th base, and without those lurkers not coming here to reinforce, we're going to lose all the drones at the 4th base. And what is Soma trading for? Literally nothing. He's going to finish off this whole army. Going to surround and kill all of that, but this is a really tough position now for Soma. He does manage to save the hatchery, which is definitely something, but his opponent just killed a crazy amount of drones. He's got another army being built right as we speak. We're already at 167 supplies, so still leading by 50. And he's got multiple bases up with a lot of cannons around. He still has Lurker he still has Archon and Zealot here on the right-hand side. That's going to be blocking a lot of this stuff as it moves up. Just moving away from these Lurkers as soon as they burrow. Very nice movement from Snow, taking a trade just purely against Lings instead of fighting against Lings and the Lurkers at the same time. Another hatchery is coming down, but he's going to lose it. Oh, Soma loses that hatch without the cancel. He does manage to catch this Nexus, but again, Protoss is a base ahead right now. A full base up on this Zerg player. He's mining happily here. He doesn't need another base. All he needs to do is keep himself on similar bases or the same number of bases as the Zerg, and he should be fine to fight really, really far into the late game here, especially with the upgrade advantage he's got already with this tech that he's managed to add on, that Reaver tech. Pumping out the Reavers here, those are going to give him such great trades against the Lings, against the Lurkers, and even the Hydras as they try to run up and engage with this army are going to get absolutely splattered. Archon's going to become incredibly important here too as Plague becomes more and more of a factor. A drop over in the 4th base. 11 kills on this Reaver, just annihilating these drones. 12th kill comes down, and now Snow just going to push across the map and look to end it here, pushing right into the natural, diving on top of these... Oh, diving on top of that Defiler as well. Throwing down storms on all of this stuff. He's just going to push right through into the rally point of the Zerg. You can see the Hydralisk coming up onto this high ground and just getting ravaged. Another drop here with the Reaver. Snow putting on a clinic for us right now. How to play PvZ. Who can stop this man? Really, who can stop this guy? I don't know if it's going to be speed, but we're going to find out. GG is called. Zerg is eliminated, going out in last place once again. A big surprise for a lot of the fans out there, I am sure. Soma is eliminated. Zerg is eliminated. Final game going to be Snow versus Speed. I don't know if he can do it, guys. I don't know if Speed can take it. Let's go into that last game. Let's find out. Okay, the final, guys. Unfortunately, here on Lemon. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure what you want to say, but Lemon is a crazy map. Feels really powerful for Protoss players. I think the new maps in general, especially I don't want to say all of the new maps, but definitely this map and Largo, I feel like in TVP it really favors the Protoss. No easy way to say it, but we're gonna have a quick expansion here from both players. Gasless fast expand for Speed and a quick Nexus here for Snow. Going into double gate afterwards, so a pretty safe quick Nexus, I'd say. Getting that double gate up is going to give you a couple of Zealots early, and it will allow you to defend properly. Both players scouting in the wrong direction, but they're going to find each other pretty soon and see that they're relatively even here with the openers going the way that they did. Nexus First versus Gas's Fast Expand is a very, very close build. So, no real advantage here in the early game. We haven't really seen a game like this on this map yet. Hopefully we're going to get into a position where the Terran actually manages to get a third. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it would be a first here for us in this season of KCM to see this map come out in TVP and actually have the Terran get a third. Generally, we see a lot of crazy attacks. We've seen it in ASL as well. A lot of crazy Terran attacks. A lot of crazy Protoss all-ins. I don't know, this is just a weird map. It hasn't been figured out yet. We'll see what Speed decides to do here. Already got a pretty good idea of what Snow's going to do. Likely a Reaver, likely a bunch of bases, and just a crazy amount of macro. Probably going to go into Arbiter again as well. It seems to be trendy right now. Not so much the Reaver... Or, sorry, the speed shuttle gameplay that was so popular last season, it's not really the case anymore. It appears that we're going back towards a Reaver play, so I think that's what we're going to see out of Snow here. Do we have some sort of drop? Do we have some sort of interesting follow-up from Speed? So far, no. Just going to be getting a Vulture out on the map here. And he will be getting that second factory, floating his barracks. And this SCV out on the map, going to look for another base that might be coming down. Any sort of intel he can get is useful, of course. Reaver robotics, sorry, no Reaver robotics facility on the way. We've got that range just about to finish. Vulture, I don't know what happened to it. I think he was producing one, pretty sure. Might have gotten picked, I don't know, but now he's got a what's going on here? Hold on a second. Ah, I see. We've decided to take off the lineup. Okay, I'll take down my lineup as well. We know who it is. It's the last game of the series, so no need to have that lineup up anymore. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that first Vulture. I thought that he started building something without the add-on, but now he's got the add-on done. And the first tank does pop out and we'll push back these goons. So no damage really done with the range dragons. Range not even finished yet. Robo is done. Robotic support bait straight as the follow-up. No messing around with the observers here in the early game. Academy coming down. Wait a second. Oh my god. No way. Speed is going to go for a Marine tank push. This is horrible. This is about the worst idea that you could possibly imagine, especially against this player. What are you even thinking right now, Speed? This is blowing my mind right now that this guy thinks this is somehow a good idea. We're going to see a Marine medic coming out against Snow, which is not necessarily bad against a player who's going for something like the just mass shuttle or teching directly into a carrier or something like that, checking into carriers, but that's not what's going to go on here. That's not going to happen. We're going to have Reavers out, and Marines are going to be blown into small chunks, and we're going to see a Snow victory here, guys. This is just not going to work. And he sees the Reaver tech, and I think he might be banging his head against the side of his monitor or something right now, because this is about as bad as it gets, guys. That Reaver is going to absolutely massacre. No other way to say it. He's flying here into the main base. The turrets aren't even done yet. And bringing the tanks out. He's only revealed 4 Marines so far, and yeah, Snow has no idea that it is a Marine follow-up, but his observer has arrived. There's no way to disguise this any further, as the observer's eventually going to get in here, right? Observer's going to get in here. Regardless, guys, we're not going to see a long game here. We're not going to see that third base I mentioned before. For sure. No third base is going to come up here. It's going to be an all-in attack with these Marine and Medic, and it looks like he's ready to move. He's moving with the Marines now, going to get the tanks out, and there's the Observer spotting the Medics. He knows what's coming. Let's see if Snow can hold. Got my money on Snow right now. See if he can do it. Running forward, trying to get a tank. Nice focus there from the tanks. Ah, he loses one of those tanks in the front. Unfortunate. Marines are coming up. Reaver is gonna be firing. Oh, big shots there. Really tough to split units in this game. Very, very difficult to get Marines to run in opposite directions. He's dropping the Reavers just barely out of range. Kills the Observer at least, but loses a tank. And looks like the rest of the army is just gonna go around this. Maybe he can spread Marines and just run up on these Reavers and try to kill them. I don't know if it's possible though. Yeah, just a quick pickup and run away. Gonna pick off another tank here. Oh, it's so painful, guys. It's so painful. There's no way he's gonna be able to push out all the way across the map. These Dragoons might be kind of sacrificial here. They're just gonna run into the natural, start to kill some tanks. Marines are popping out, gonna reinforce. But this is a very slow push towards the natural of Snow, and gonna get another shot off. Oh, big hit there. Kills a lot of Marines too. And these Dragoons are just camping the natural, killing everything as it pops out. Tanks are finally going to spawn and push things back, but we've got Zealots here now. There's only 4 tanks. The Reaver's gonna blow these. Oh, both those tanks missed their shots. Everything's been handled here perfectly by Snow. He's gonna just kill this turret and push everything even further back on the map. And as time goes on, it's gonna get worse and worse here for Speed, who's now at 68 supply to 114, nearly half the supply of his opponent. And more Reavers are popping, guys. Even if you manage to pick off this Reaver or this shuttle with both Reavers inside, I think that Snow still manages to find a way to win this. Let's start to move forward with the tanks in not in siege mode. Gets a pick off on one of these Reavers, but it's just kind of hopeless here. Trying to push up once again. Maybe he can get on top of this army. Big army going around the outside. I thought that was all Snow had, but he has another full army heading down from the north. Going to cut off reinforcements here. Big Reaver shots going to annihilate these Marines here. And the natural is once again under threat. Some SCVs were coming out trying to reinforce here to build more turrets, but there's just so much here in the front. Not enough tanks, and those tanks get picked off on the backside. Here they come. The Dragoons coming from the top side. Reavers coming from the left. Going to target directly onto those Marines. The Zealots rip everything apart, and that's going to be that. GG will have to be called. And Protoss is going to win, guys. Protoss with another win here in KCM. Speed's falling back, trying to fight with some of these Marines. He doesn't have any medics left over. Targets down the... Oh my goodness, targets down the shuttle, but it survives with 3 HP. Madness, absolute madness. Zealot's just going to rush forward. I think even without the Reaver here, he can just win. And that is a disappointing end here for the Terran race. Oh, so close! Oh my god, the shields came back and he wasn't able to kill that shuttle. That's crazy. Gonna sprint forward with the Marines, try to split up and actually kill something here. Running for the shuttle, but not able to get it. Oh, the scan! Oh my god, it's got 3 HP, 2 HP! Oh, what? What? Oh my god, insult to injury here right now. Snow surviving with that shuttle has... It's gotta be making Speed's blood boil right now. He's been trying to kill that shuttle for so long, and he still manages to keep it alive. This guy is like from a circus or something. It's crazy. Building more barracks? Are you kidding me? That's not the right call. I mean, he doesn't really have an option right now, but building more Marines is like, I don't know. I don't even know what a good analogy for that would be. But, I mean, it's just never going to happen. He's going to lose these barracks that are being built. The Dragoon's just going to come right in here. GG is called, and Speed taps out. No upset here today, and Protoss manages to take the day. Man, Snow absolutely on fire today, guys. Crazy, crazy games out of him, playing out of his mind. Manages to take the victory here for the Protoss. Congratulations, Snow. An awesome, awesome series for him. 3 kills for that Snow player. What a madman. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's been a blast. Another great week of KCM. This time, Protoss taking home 2 points. Terran with an additional 1. And Zerg with, again, 0. 3 weeks in a row. Not able to take home a single point. The positions are being reversed here. Terran now ahead of Zerg. Still lagging behind Protoss. We'll see if those standings end up changing here in the latter weeks as they did in the previous KCM. But for now, Protoss in a commanding lead. And Snow really showing up big here. Really big. I'm super looking forward to seeing him in the ASL. See what he can pull off. We haven't seen any of his PvP, obviously, so it might not be quite as strong as his PvZ and PvT, but I mean, just look at this guy. He is looking near unstoppable. We'll see how that goes, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. While I've still got you here, definitely go ahead and check out my other channel. I'm doing a bunch of replay casts there. Got NA Team Battle and some random other games that I found. Just some non-copyrightable content there for you guys. If you're looking for some more Broodwar, definitely go and check it out. Links are in the description down below, of course. And as always, go ahead and check out KCM too. I'll link his channel. Go ahead and give him a like and a subscribe for supporting the English Broodwar audience and scene. Really do appreciate him for that one. And thank you to all of you guys out there for sticking with it, for supporting me and what I do. Really do appreciate all you guys and hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next video.